when you're 30,000 feet up, what you think of? Oh, I hated knowing that my thoughts would turn to dream, cause I never knew I'd get my chance to link up. Oh, I tell you all of this unusual to me. Swear I came from the bottom, flappers living, walking dead on. But your favorite rapper's name up on the headstone. Big for the cheese and you're dead wrong. Propaganda said the standards in the tear down.
Throw it back, yeah, I'm born to. It's dark, it's hot, so leave me where I'm at. I'm living how I want now. No reason to look out, it's clear to see. All eyes on me, 400 degrees. Who am I? Ruthless, easy does it. In public, hated or love it. The underdogs with liquor swabs. It was written in my diary to start a war. I'm feeling infamous, immortal with my technique. A revolutionary shining with diamond teeth. Young Don Cartagena, excuse my demeanor. This the glamour life, you still not a player. You ain't half as nice. I'm born again, life after death. I made the sacrifice and super duper fly. Juicy, keep them hypnotized. I said my name is Juice, America's most. Ain't no half stepping. See you at the crossroads.
Money over on my headstone. Here lies young, getting paid for. Never take a loss on my headstone. Only take a when I'm dead. I be gang 3 times on my headstone. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on the headstone. Too late, you already lived. It was written in the children's story. Their life's a so what you want? Every day I struggle with it. Only God could tell me slipping. I'm infinitely big through the genesis. Dead presidents, drop a gem on them. On earth, these the last days. Throw your get money, quiet storm. Have it thoughts. For the cream, renegade. For the money, Ole Green is the I'm a player on the late night tip. So these see the prototype. Fingertips, reservoir dog to the skull. Ignorant. Can I live? Still film it. Kiss to death, friend, protect your neck. Three boys in the Cadillac. Grave digger, kiss to death, friend, protect your neck. Shame on the three boys in the Cadillac. Grave digger. Money over on my headstone. Here lies young, getting paid for. Never take a loss on my headstone. Only take a when I'm dead. I be gang 3 times on my headstone. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on the headstone. Too late, you already lived. Right now I'm on the edge, so don't push me. Troublesome to 9 to 6. You wish you could reuse and know the ledge. I'm your. What's that? I smell. Let me count my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, run. Hi, my name is Dirk Cobain. Like a here I go to the next episode. Ain't no damn this explosive Beast Coast. Yeah, the mother ride or die for money, strictly for money. Survival of the fittest. That's the sign of the police. I'm indeed cover earth, skirt, lean back. Give me one more chance. They say Jesus walks and the devil wear Prada, but I'm so deaf. God can't tell me nothing. Right this on my death certificate. I gave you power. 21 questions like who? They're warning. Watch them flashing like paparazzi. 2 words. Get money. Tonight's the night. Guess who's back on my block? Rather unique. Bucktown.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the London Black Knights and the Detroit Lions. It's been a tradition since the early days of the NFL, and we're off on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. What a spin. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. Touchdown! A great effort there with touchdown number 20 on the year, and his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. You talk about explosion plays. Here's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate. Big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
They go play action here on first down. On the move to his left. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Now this offense ready to head back out there. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Bind, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Yeah, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Dancing, and he's going to go down again.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit! Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. Over, 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 over.
He'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
On second down, here's Watson. Forced out to his left. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A good pick up there of 20 yards. On 1st and 10, Watson escaping the pressure right. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
Now, I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They're going to find his running back. It's complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Watson on 1st down. Flush to his right. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1.
Richmond.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Oh, and now he bowls him over.
All right, let's give credit where credit is due. How about that return? Great blocking, great vision, all the way down to the 2-yard line. The only person who has to be upset, the guy who didn't get it into the end zone. That far and no reward?
Extra point up and good by Bullock. And that makes the score 14-7. Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Down! Green the line! Green the line! Reset!
Here's Watson now on second down. Steps away to his left. Looking for his receiver, Sharp, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Give the tackle to Tease Tabor that time.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he's actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done. And
they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Watch it now, Barney.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on 3rd downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. And Bullock will put this one through. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced them to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
Black 22! Black 22!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. He's got daylight. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. His 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Lions strike quickly here for 6 points. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle.
Watch it now, Barney! Gun! All right, now, Lucky 56! Lucky 56!
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Flushed out right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Gun. Watch it now, Barney.
throw. And that's incomplete.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3-and-out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this will be taken at the 13. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Lions will take over. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Call it a gain of 5, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Tiger, Tiger, Tiger. Come back, come back.
A shotgun snap for Watson. It's caught. Shepard. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Come back, come back. Reset, reset, reset. Tiger, Tiger, Tiger.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain here down to the 22. Andre Howell, the one to bring him down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And they'll go on the ground. And he powers his way up past the 30. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This time it's 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And they'll run it here. And I don't know if he made it out of the end zone. No signal. Yes, it's a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Ooh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
That's a lot of points. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
No. Check. Patriot. Gun. Watch him now, Barney.
He'll drop to throw. And that's caught left side. Seals Jones with it. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Now back to throw. He gets it to Brown, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Over, 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 over.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tease Tabor. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
After the interception, here's Watson. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Watson now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson being chased out left. His throw caught right around the 6. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Now Watson going to sneak it. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. The Lions need to move. They're hustling to the line now.
Oh, yeah, good surge defensively. Sometimes you can just tell by the way a quarterback line.
And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Deshaun Watson taking it in. And the Lions are in for 6. So with 2nd and goal, still had a couple of downs to work with. They tried to sneak, and they got in.
I like the idea that they did it early in the down and distance count. 2nd down as opposed to waiting later on. I think it fooled them a little bit, but how about the push they got up front to get the quarterback through?
Big push and a touchdown to boot. A spin. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Detroit. Detroit. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Eluding the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
The offense on third down, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw here. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now. He's been terrific so far. So out now come the Lions. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Richmond.
On first down, it's Watson. Buying time to his left. Throw left side complete. That's Shepard. A good pickup there, a 22.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Come back.
On first down, Watson. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
Down. Blue ready. Richmond.
To throw on second is Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
Come back. Tiger.
To throw is Watson on 3rd down. He sets to fire deep. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And here now the offense heading back out there. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the 3rd quarter now. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Reset.
Now a 1st down throw, Watson. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the play. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Down. Blue 80.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Sliding out of the pocket. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11.
Slack 99, Billy. Tiger.
From the gun, here's Watson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 18. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Leopard. Detroit. No. Check. Patriot.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Lucky 56. Detroit. That boy's got 4. 4 down. He's checking. No. Check. Patriot. Check back. Tighten up. Black 99 Philly. Here we go.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And an alley to run. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. And this offense on 3rd down today, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And a gain there of 11 yards.
Detroit!
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that would look like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
All right, now, Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on 1st down. He'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's third down and inches. On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. In for the score. And his guys are able to strike for 6. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? R-A-C?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Now a toss going left. And he will dive into the end zone, and the two-point conversion is successful. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
So here come the Lions now. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a second and 5.
Down. Black 22. Black 22.
Here's Watson now on second down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Justin Reed. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw here. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, Couldn't turn it into much more.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Back now at Ford Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. This offense so far on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 14. He'll look to throw. And an alley to run. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. And Bullock will put this one through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Tiger! Come back! Richmond!
Watson on 1st down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Reset! Come back!
On 1st and 10, Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. And for the defense, their 3rd sack of the game.
That number tells you that they're starting to put it together with their defensive game plan. They're starting to feel pretty good about what the offense is doing, bringing the pressure at the right time, and putting the quarterback on the ground.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Come back! Reset! Come back!
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And no, it's incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And as a result, possession switches hands. Now this offense about ready to take over again. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now a handoff looking right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
No, check. Patriot! Patriot! Detroit! Detroit! Here we go now. Green 39! Green 39! Hot!
Back to throw. Dancing to his left. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. And Bullock will put this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
And Detroit getting set to go now. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And the return will stop right around the 25. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And they'll go on the ground. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. He'll drop to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 45. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy, because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Hey, black 22. Black 22.
Now Watson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now it's Watson. And he comes back with one complete. Well, they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult.
And this is caught out for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.
And they take a knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people really enjoyed this game.